Hello, my name is Brittany Hawkins, and I'm a current student at GCU in the current college course of 0451 Relational Communication. The scenario that I got from a friend of the family, and it actually really happened in real life. The scenario is a future daughter-in-law and future mother-in-law, that are having to plan a wedding together. And so the husband wants both of them, the mother and his future wife, to collaborate. The advice that I would have for the mother in law is that she should allow her, Mia, which is her future daughter in law, a chance to express how she feels and what she wants to do for her special day, because it is her special day. Other advice that I have is for her to, sit down and listen to the details of some of the things that are really important for her to have on those days. I do feel like it's a great opportunity for the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law to collaborate with each other, get to know each other, and it's an opportunity for them to bond. As a mother-in-law, it's important not to overstep your boundaries when it comes to the marriage of her son and daughter. When listening to Mia, you need to, repeat back some of the things that she said that were important to her for her special day. Nodding your head, direct eye contact, reassuring her that you're just really there to help and not to overstep would be would be a great idea. And it probably would have Mia to be more open about how she's feeling about some of the ideas that you want to do for the wedding. Now, for Mia, the advice that I have for Mia is that she should, open up to her mother-in-law, let her know what are stand firm on some of the things that she really wants for her special day, but also make the mother-in-law, which is Miss Nicole, feel like she is heard as well from both parties. Because when you're communicating with someone, you want to make sure that that person feels heard and that you are listening to the ideas and stuff that they have. Because if maybe use facial gestures, that's rolling of the eyes, probably saying things like, well, it's my wedding, or it's what I want to do, instead of making it more so a family thing. Because when it comes down to the whole situation, you are putting your families together. You are combining your families together through being married. So you're going to have to live with your husband for the rest of his life. And so you're going to have to be around his family and his mother. And so I feel like they should be able to sit down and talk things out. Now, Mia, you want a traditional type. No, I'm sorry. Miss Nicole wants a traditional wedding because she's older and she has had some of the traditions that she's done in her time of getting married. And Mia is more modern because she's younger, correct? Yes. So how can you compromise? How can you both come together and say, well, hey, we can do this and we can do that, and we can make it all into one to where everybody's happy and everything runs smoothly. So I think Miss Nicole can write down some of the things that she wants to for Mia to think about. Like some of the things that she want her to think about, or just sit back and think about putting them into the wedding plans. And Mia, you should write down some of the things that you want to have done in the wedding, or some of the things that are important to you, and allow Miss Nicole to look at those things, and maybe you guys can come to a common ground. For example, maybe Miss Nicole wants you to jump over the broom at your wedding. Maybe you don't want to do that because that's like a older tradition for people to jump over the broom. Maybe you guys cannot have that part at the actual wedding, but at the reception, maybe you could jump over the broom there. It's just a matter of just trying to work together and hearing each other. So that's very important. Another thing I would suggest, watch your tone like with each other. Basically, you know, you might say something that rubs Mia the wrong way, Miss Nicole, because she feels like it's her wedding. And you might say something as if, like, well, we're paying for the wedding or we're putting money into the wedding. That's something you want to refrain from doing, because you don't want to make Mia feel as if she can't get exactly what she wants because you're doing the financial part of the wedding. When it comes down to it, it is a union under God, and it's something that should be done without any hostility or anything like that. It shouldn't be a strain. It's already enough pressure as it is planning a wedding, so you wouldn't want to put your daughter-in-law into that type of form of stress and pressure behind you being financially responsible for the wedding. And of course, Mia, you want to be, mindful that his parents is paying for the wedding, but all of this can be done in a respectful way. you know um let's see, what else do we need to cover? Okay. Yeah, understand contextual influences. Both the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law should acknowledge their unique backgrounds. So both of you come from different backgrounds, of course. So that's going to play a major factor in what you feel should be done at the wedding. Okay. So I think before you guys even go into planning a wedding, you should spend some quality time with each other before you even go into doing something as far as planning a wedding. You guys could go out to eat, go for a cup of tea, coffee, something that can bond you guys on a different level where you get to know each other more before you go into a stressful thing of planning a wedding. That way that you can get a feel for how she is. Mia and Miss Nicole can get a feel for how you are, and so you guys can have some common ground there, and then build your way up to actually coming together, making choices and decisions for the wedding. But I do feel like, Miss Nicole, you should be very open to what Mia wants to do for her special day, because you have experienced that day before being married, and it is a lot of stress and it's a lot of pressure, and most brides want their day to be perfect. So in the conclusion that I have is that you guys sit down and do active listening to one another, taking into account how Mia might feel, and Mia taking into account how you might feel, Mr. Cole, about wanting your input to be used in the wedding. And so that everybody can come together and make the best choices and decisions to make it a very special day for the whole family. But more so Mia, because it's her special day. That is all that I have. That concludes my advice.